of the movie, we see a girl named Fawn with a psychiatrist. The girl was a maid and she tells her that the family where she used to work for, their daughter Nid had a monkey doll that had become alive one day. The psychiatrist explains to her that what she saw must be a manifestation of her own fears. But then she tells her that it was following her and it was always watching her. And that day she saw that the monkey is demonic and it attacked her. Fawn tells her mistress Uma that she can no longer work there because she sees a monkey everywhere in the house who haunts her. Hearing this, Uma allows her to leave and asks her driver Chai to find a new maid. Now in the night Uma makes Nid sleep and starts leaving from there. But only then that monkey becomes alive. But the next moment it becomes a toy again. Then one night Nid sees a very terrible ghost in her house, due to which she goes into shock. And the next day the doctor tells Niraj and Uma that their daughter is suffering from FTV syndrome and that later on, she may see some imaginary friends or something that scares her. Now the next day we see a girl named Joy whom Chai brings to that house. Here a senior maid named Wan takes her inside the house and explains her duties and responsibilities. She also tells her that if she wants to work here, she must not pry into others' business. She then tells her that she also needs to take care of Nid as she is sick and can't go out. Joy introduces herself to her but Nid ignores her, and Wan tells her that Nid has some mental problem due to which she sees things. Now after they leave, we see someone standing in the corner of the room. Chai then takes her to the servant's cottage where she asks Chai, does this house have a high maid turnover? But Chai just tells her about her maid uniform and asks her to be ready early morning tomorrow. Now Joy is checking her uniform at night when she sees a girl in the mirror who runs upstairs. She goes upstairs to check on her where she sees the girl. But she gets scared seeing her and comes back downstairs. Then later she sees that girl's ghost is trying to enter her room and suddenly haunts her, due to which she wakes up and it was just a nightmare. Later she meets Uma and tells her that she used to work at a foreigner's house. Uma asks her why did she leave the job there, to which she says that her employer returned to his country. Next, we see her with Nid where she makes her sleep by singing a lullaby for her. Then when she starts leaving from there, she realizes that someone is standing in the corner of the room, but when she looks back, there is no one there. Later, she bumps into Niraj who asks her name, and then leaves from there. Next, we see Wen, Joy, and another maid born working in the kitchen. Wen gives her a bar of chocolate and says that Madam has given it to her to share. Now later Joy is bathing Nid when both of them start talking and playing. Nid sees someone there and when Joy looks back, there is no one there, but only then does she see the spirit of that girl in the mirror standing behind her. Later she asks Nid if she also saw her, to which she says yes. After this, she comes to Niraj's office where she finds some photos in which Niraj, Uma, and the maid whose ghost was seen by her again and again. Then that ghost appears in front of her and starts haunting her, and when she starts leaving from there, he blocks her way. She appears to her again, due to which she gets very scared and comes out running from there. Here she sees Nid and that ghost comes to her and closes the door. Joy tries to open the door but Nid comes from behind, and the ghost haunts her again. Next, she tells Uma about that girl's ghost and Nid also says that it is true. Then she shows her the picture and tells her that the girl looks like the girl in this photo. Uma sees that photo and asks Born to take Nid to her room. She then tells Joy that she was Ploy, just another maid who used to work here, and then asks her to leave. After she leaves we see a flashback where the Ploy walks into Uma's room. She compliments Uma for her beauty, and here we learn that Niraj and Uma's relationship is not going well. Uma thinks that Niraj is not interested in her anymore, but Ploy explains to her that everyone in this house loves her and she loves her too. Now that night Uma tries to talk to Niraj but he gets ready and goes out. This makes her very sad and only then does Ploy come there, after which we see both of them getting intimate. Next, Joy asks Wen how did Ploy die, at which Wen gets angry and tells her not to pry into others' business. Then after she leaves, Joy asks Born about it, but Born also hesitates to tell her anything and says that 6-7 years ago, she suddenly left and nobody has seen her since. Then she says that no one has seen anything like what she saw in this house last night, and after saying this she leaves there. After this, Joy asks Chai about Ploy, to which he tells her that Uma hired Ploy as a maid to do household chores. Ploy took great care of her and she knew her well. When there was nobody in the house, Uma always had Ploy beside her. She took away Uma's loneliness and made her forget her sorrows. Even Wen and Born who served her longer couldn't compete. For Uma, Ploy was not just a maid but also a companion. But in the end, Ploy left the house without telling anyone. After telling this, Chai uses his asthma inhaler, and Joy leaves from there. Later, Joy sees that Uma is scolding Nid because she used to draw some strange drawings. She tears all her drawings out of the wall and leaves the room in anger. After she leaves, Joy asks Nid about the drawings, on which Nid tells her that she has drawn a maid with Uma and Nuraj. Then she goes outside Uma's room and sees that she is keeping a drawing in her drawer, and only then does she see Ploy there. Uma then goes outside to smoke, and Joy walks into her room and takes out the drawing from her drawer. She then hears Nuraj's voice from the library, and she goes there to see that Nuraj is apologizing to Ploy. She goes inside and tries to tell him that she just saw Ploy inside. But Nuraj takes the drawing from her hand and she tells him that she got it from Nid. Nuraj asks her to leave and she leaves from there. After she leaves, Nuraj takes out a photo from a book, and again a flashback is shown where Ploy enters the library. She has brought tea for Nuraj, and when he asks her whether Uma has sent tea for him, she says that she is also his maid and it is her duty to serve him. After this we see both of them coming closer and they start kissing each other, after which both of them also get intimate there. Back to the present, Joy asks Nid about Ploy and asks if she knows where she is now. Ploy appears behind her, but when she looks back, she is not there, and suddenly she starts haunting her. Now Ploy starts showing the past to Joy, in which she learns that Ploy was pregnant with Nuraj. Then one day Nuraj tells Uma that Ploy is pregnant and now they can have a baby. Joy gets shocked to see all this, and then Ploy shows her that she is playing with her child, that is Nid, and she is very happy. She is preparing to bathe Nid, but then Nid starts crying. Ploy tries to reach Nid in a hurry, but due to the wet floor, she slips and gets heavily injured. Now here we see in a flashback that Ploy was actually Joy's elder sister, and she also came to this house as a maid one day just like Joy. She used to tell all the things happening here by sending letters to Joy. Uma saw Ploy in an injured condition, but instead of helping her, she left her to die. Then all the maids and Chai together wrapped her in plastic and buried her in the backyard of the house in front of Nuraj and Uma. Joy gets very sad knowing all this and starts singing a lullaby. And then Ploy's spirit comes to her and starts singing lullabies with her. Then she shows her that she was alive when all of them were preparing to bury her, and Nuraj had seen it. But he did not tell anything to anyone, and then they buried her alive. We then see Joy with the same psychiatrist, where Joy is asked why did she leave her last job. Here we see a flashback in which Joy is stabbing her old employers to death with a knife. But she tells the psychiatrist that her employers had gone back to their country and sold the house. Now we see that today there is a party in their house and everyone is getting ready for that party. Chai brings Joy from Server Cottage to Nuraj's house, and here Joy again asks him about Ploy, which causes him to have an asthma attack. Joy gives him his inhaler and then suffocates him by putting plastic on his head, and then he dies. Then she comes to the kitchen where Born is chopping vegetables. She also asks her about Ploy, which scares Born a lot. On the other hand, Uma asks when to serve wine after a while and to tell Chai to prepare the car for guests. After this, Nuraj praises her and says that red looks good on her, and here we come to know that it is Uma's birthday party. Here Born regains consciousness and sees that Joy has tied her up. She tells her that she shouldn't have lied to her, and during this, we see her mixing something in the wine, and then she goes out with the wine. Here Wayne comes outside to tell Chai to get the car ready, but sees that he is dead in the car. Just then Joy injects her with something and makes her sit in the car, and after she leaves, Wayne also dies after some time. Then she starts serving wine to all the guests, and Uma sees that she is looking very happy. She then comes back to the kitchen and starts telling Born about the party, and during this, she also starts wearing a plastic coat. Then she plays her favorite song and starts dancing in front of her, after which she grabs a knife and kills her by slitting her throat with it. Here Nuraj thanks all the guests for coming to the party, and then they all start singing a birthday song for Uma. But there Uma sees Ploy standing in the middle of the guests. Then after some time, Nuraj goes upstairs to make a call, and Uma tells Joy that she is going upstairs and asks her to take care of the guests. Uma looks at a few letters in her room, and here Joy wears headphones to knit and plays songs in it. On the other hand, suddenly the health of the guests starts deteriorating at the party, and then Joy comes there and attacks them all. She starts stabbing them one by one badly with the knife. We then see her in Uma's room, where she shows her the letters she wrote to Ploy when she was young. Then she says that if she wanted to know about her sister, she did not have to make up a ridiculous story. Joy apologizes to her, and then Uma also tells her that one day Ploy suddenly went somewhere and she did not know where she went and where to find her. Then all of a sudden her health starts deteriorating, and Joy asks her if she knows how horrible it feels to slowly suffocate to death. She tells her that she was merciless to leave Ploy to die like that. Uma angrily attacks her and tries to strangle her. But then she hears Ploy's voice, and Joy stabs her on her neck with a knife. Uma falls next to Joy, and then we see Ploy lying next to her, and in the flashback, It is shown how Uma used ploy to have a child and then let her die. On the other hand, Nuraj is talking to Uma's dad on the phone and tells him that he doesn't want his money, promotion, mansion, and even his daughter. After this, he takes a drink and he starts feeling dizzy. He starts having suffocation, and when he comes out he sees Ploy. He follows her and comes down where all the guests are dead. When he opens the door and comes out, he sees that there is a fire outside the house. Ploy comes out of it and stabs him, but it is not Ploy but Joy. And then she starts stabbing him continuously and then finally kills him by inserting a knife in his neck. And here we again see Ploy lying next to him. After this, she comes out of the house with Nid and starts leaving from there and starts crying, and the movie ends here. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.